So I was really looking forward to the press trip to Portugal for the launch of the new 2021 Triumph Speed Twin.
So as you can tell, I'm super excited to ride this bike. We've got the launch in about a month's time, so stick around. If you're not subscribed already, then do hit subscribe if you want to see my verdict on what it's like to actually ride it on the road.
It's a bike that was already a big favourite of mine, and the upgrades to the brakes and suspension seemed like they would take it up another notch in terms of handling.
A big change is the brakes. They weren't bad on the previous gen. It had Brembo 4-pot calipers, I think, on 305mm discs. But on this generation, you now get Brembo M50 calipers, so radially mounted monoblock calipers for extra crispness on the initial bite, and Triumph also say a better feel as well. And they're on larger diameter 320mm discs. If you can cast your mind back to the previous bike as well, it had regular right way up suspension. This has had an update to the fork, so you've got a Marzocchi upside down fork, 43mm. And generally the benefits of like upside down forks are less unsprung weight because the thinner bits at the bottom, so you should get better responsiveness, and also the thicker bits at the top, so less twisting from braking and turning. So generally performance should be tighter and better handling on this bike.
A press launch is always a great opportunity to find out whether the promises made by the manufacturer are actually manifested on the road.
Hopefully it's not too long until we get to ride one. From a riding perspective, we talked about the specs and technical changes, but what would I expect to feel versus the previous gen when I jump on this bike?
Well, it's going to be very similar, except a little bit more of everything. So you're going to have more throttle response, you're going to have a broader spread of torque, you're going to have more power at the top end with an extra 500 RPM as well. You're going to have sharper, more agile handling and much better grip from the tyres, all just to give you that fun, just to let you fully enjoy this bike.
Brilliant.
And Portugal has some incredible roads, as I've found out myself in the past. But it wasn't to be. It was all booked in, and then the travel rules changed, which would have meant having to self-isolate for the best part of a week on returning to the UK. That's just not possible when you've got a YouTube channel to run and a young family. Then they changed the rules so that you had to quarantine for 2 weeks on arrival in Portugal unless you've been double jabbed, and that was truly the end of that. I was stuck at home enjoying the UK weather for the weekend instead of carving up some incredible roads on a beaut of a bike in Portugal. But I wanted to bring you a bit of footage and first impressions from the launch, and thankfully TT legend Maria Costello was out there working for Triumph and agreed to tell us a bit about the new bike. And honestly, she's far more qualified than I to comment on how it rides.
Hi, I'm Maria Costello. Now you're probably expecting MOTOBOB, but unfortunately he couldn't come out to Portugal because of the new rules changes. But because I was here already, I'm one of the lead and tail riders who are taking the press on amazing roads here. I'm going to give you my first impressions after riding this bike for the past few days. The roads here are a bit of everything. It copes with everything so well. The twisters, it's just fantastic. Riding through town, it can do everything. We've got 1200 cc's of an upgraded engine, but it's the torque that I'm really in love with. You can get away with being in the wrong gear if you find yourself in the wrong gear, but it's really all about the new front end that it's got. Big new Brembo brakes, the Marzocchi forks, upside down cartridge. This makes the thing feel like a sports bike. I just feel like it's got a really solid front end, and then the twin shock rear works with that really well. You forget that you're on this classically styled speed twin, and I've just had the best time on all these different roads that we're riding. It copes with everything with ease, twisters, through towns, just a really agile, great handling bike. But the cherry on the cake is really this modern classic look and all this amazing detailing. It's just beautiful with the red popping on the tank. It's an absolute stunner.
Thanks so much to Maria for shooting a quick overview for us. You can find a link to her YouTube channel in the description of this video, so do head over and subscribe if you want to see more content from her. It shouldn't be long before we get the press bikes available in the UK, so I'll be sure to get hold of one as soon as possible and go into some more detail, as well as how it compares to the previous generation and some of its 2021 competitors. Let me know what you think of the new bike down in the comments, and if you're new here and you want to see my own review as soon as it goes live, then please do hit subscribe, and I'll see you then.